Good afternoon. Could you just let me know if you can hear me okay and if you see the screen over here? Just want to make sure everything is working. Just let me know that you can hear me. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Great. Excellent. Okay, I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. Thank you. All right, 4 o'clock, and we are ready to start. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for spending a portion of your Friday afternoon with me here, because what else you going to do on Friday afternoon? Of course. Welcome. So today we will be talking about RK-Sys Platinum. I will be showing you my charts, real charts from today, real-time charts, with trades that I took using RK-Sys Platinum in my funded account. If you never heard me or saw me before, my name is James Buchman. Actually, I can show you they actually have a slide for me here somewhere. Here I am. Yeah, so became a full-time trader about 16 years ago. Retired from New York City Department of Education, which then allowed me to become a full-time trader, which meant I had an opportunity to fall on my face full-time, which happened. Learn my stuff, learn how markets worked, got an approach. I've been successful now for about 8 years. A year and a half ago, created my own group. We are now in Discord, where I post trading levels for 7 futures instruments. We have a live room. In that room, I mainly focus on the NASDAQ and the S&P. Yeah, so this is my information. If you need to email me with any questions, in case you ask a question here and I don't see it, you can get in touch with me over here. So, yep, that's me. And when I trade for this webinar or really anything, I always use prop firm funded accounts. I do not trade my own money. I don't see the reason why anyone would trade their own money anymore. You can simply collect up to what, 20 now per firm funded accounts. When I started with funded accounts, it was what, 8 years ago, I guess. Yeah, there were mainly just two prop firms, two main ones, without going into names. But no, there were no sales of 90% off or whatnot. You paid whatever it was, 150 or 170 for a 50K evaluation account. There were multiple steps, all the good stuff. Anyway, never mind that. Let's get to RK-Sys Platinum. So this is, in a nutshell, it's a system. It's not just an indicator. There was a lot here. But mainly it is a trend following strategy that looks for pullbacks to initiate a trade. Because as we, I think, know, breakout trades for the most part don't work. It's important to have a pullback, and that's what this system does. So this is, without anything. And let's it's me, okay, backtesting. Okay, now when it comes to backtesting, I did not create this backtest. NINZA has a video on their YouTube channel, and they describe, I guess, how they created this backtest. Me, I don't use backtests. I trade in real time. To me, what's important is not what happened in the past, but what is happening right now. Because no one's going to give you money based on what happened in the past. You have to earn it now. So I focus on the now, but these back tests are impressive and you should take a look at them. So that's another one. Again, everything is available on their YouTube channel. You can check it out along with any risk disclaimers associated with these back tests. And I want to get to, what is it? Okay, so it's like I said, it is a trend following system. They made a lot of improvements in this last version. This is version 4. The main improvements come with filtering. They figured out how to filter trades, signals that potentially could be losing signals. And they did it by defining a trend. when a trend is too young or when the trend is too old, right? Eventually, when the trend is overextended, price tends to pull back. So they, in the settings of the strategy, they figured out a way how to define the ideal types of signals when the trend is not too young, because then it could be just a false move, and when it's not too overextended, when it would pull back. And of course, now I'm going to be asked about it, so I'm going to just answer it now. As far as what time frame to use, and the more I use it, the more I become convinced that the King Renko is the ideal bar type for this strategy. Now, it could be used on tick charts, it could be used on range charts, it could be used on the regular NINZA Renko. Just from my experience, I kind of found that King Renko is really, it's a spectacular bar. The way they created this bar, I just highly recommend, not only for RK-Sys Platinum, but like I think most of their indicators, and then just trading in general, the King Renko bar is a superior type of bar. So this filtering that they created is based on minimum and maximum bars, and we're going to see it in the settings. And what it does, so the minimum bar kind of defines when does a trend start. That's the minimum bar. When does the trend start? How do we define that we have a new trend as opposed to continuation of an existing trend, let's say, in this case, to the downside? And then, of course, it also tries to see when a move is overextended. When there was an overextended move, then it would require a deeper pullback. So that's something quite ingenious. And one of the reasons why I think this this system is so terrific with filtering chop. It's I don't know if you saw my video. It was posted last night or early this morning. And I was just showing in real time how it was filtering chop. It was not responding to just random kind of moves, which is pretty impressive for an algorithm. So yeah, if a move gets overextended, it's going to expect a deeper retracement. And again, just like different examples of giving a signal, but then once the move gets overextended, it's going to stop with the signals and kind of see what's going to happen next. Of course, both on longs and short scenarios. So you can have pullbacks based on price action, or you can get pullbacks based on the moving average. Now, this system has a number of different signals, I think about 5, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I will talk about the way I trade it, which is not the official way how I think NINZA recommends to trade it, right? But I am a trader first. So I have a certain approach that I found based on my months now of observing this system, this system. I found that some things work slightly better than other things. I'm going to talk about it when I show my charts. So again, just different examples of pullbacks and defining a trend. And I'm telling you, first of all, if there is any kind of a sustained move, this strategy is going to catch it, and it's going to catch it early. And when a move gets overextended, you're going to see how all of a sudden there are almost no signals. And again, all of this is customizable. But I'll tell you, I'll tell you now, in case I forget to tell you later. On all the charts you're going to see today, from today, I don't cherry pick. It's always on the day of the webinar. I don't go back 2 weeks and show you some nice day. It's from today. I used out of the box default settings on every chart And I think there are 5 different instruments, 5, right? 5 different instruments that I use. I did not change a thing. I did that for a reason. And the reason is because then there are always questions that come up about the settings and sharing settings and settings and settings and settings. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Wrong time for a call. And really, with this system, if you change the settings, if you take the time and you perfect the settings, you're going to have superb results. The results I have today, and I'm going to show you my results, are not superb. These are just out of the box, changing nothing. So I'm going to show you what, not great looks like. And then you can imagine if you actually take the time and change some things around, it's going to be that much better. Any case, I don't want to be jumping. Oops, not for myself, not yet. Oh, come on. Sorry, guys. Let me shut this off. Okay. All right. Okay, so I will be showing you a chart. Just want to make sure that this is all covered here. We got to, okay, we're not going to be looking at historical charts. We're going to be looking at charts from today. So these are all the things that you could customize that would affect everything from how a trend is defined to what kind of a pullback do you want. This will change from market to market, and even within the same market, it will change from periods of high volatility to periods of lower volatility. Today was a perfect example, by the way. The first hour with the US indices, things were moving. And when I was ready to start trading, RK system, after I closed my live room, all of a sudden, everything just disappeared. No volatility. So I had some issues. But yeah, but these are all the possible settings that you can change. And if you take the time and you play around with this and you look at the market that you like, I'm telling you, you're going to get results far better than I have here. So, these are the bar types that are recommended. I use slightly different ones. Again, I use a King Renko. I'm just a great believer in the King Renko. I use a King Renko, and it's slightly different than these. For example, if you're going to put a 12-2 on the NASDAQ, can you really put a 10-2 on the S&P? I mean, the NASDAQ is a wild beast. Anyway, let's get to some charts. And okay, so first of all, okay. All right. So, okay. So first of all, this is the PA account. Now, I know that most of you are familiar with firms that their funded account starts with PA, so that's why I'm using this. But I also have accounts with prop firms where their funded accounts do not start with PA. I'm not going to mention any names here, but I just know most of you are familiar with those that start with PA. So now, these results are much poorer than any of you could have done today. This is not bragging. This is, I mean, $300. There was so much more, and you're going to see. It's just that I had a live room today, and I got busy, and I couldn't trade for the webinar for today, and I wasn't free until after 11 a.m. Eastern, after the first 90 minutes of US session. And by the time I started, that was it. There was no movement. And so I could not catch a lot. So, and again, all of these are out of the box settings, guys. I changed absolutely nothing. As is, loaded up, and here it is. Now, I just want to show you what was possible if, unlike me, you had the opportunity to actually focus on what's going on. So this is the Russell. This is 930, right? If you wanted to trade before, there were definitely opportunities before, but let's say here, And out of the gate, definitely this would have been a losing trade. This is really the same trade. This is not two separate trades. This is the same trade. Now, let me start now by saying, here is how I trade the RK-Sys Platinum. Very much so the same as I trade other trend following indicators. I only like to take the first signal in a given direction. Unless there is a nice pullback, I don't keep taking trades in the same direction, because eventually a trend gets overextended, especially on a small time frame. Right? On a small time frame, trends just get overextended fairly fast. So these two would have been, I mean, this is really the same trade. This is a losing trade over here, no question, a losing trade. Here comes a short. I'm in a perfect location for the short, absolutely perfect. A pull to the moving average and a bar down. And I mean, this thing is a monster down, just an absolute monster of a trade down. So after a very small loss, this is not much, then comes this amazing move down on the Russell, and I just could not get into it after I was done with my room, because then it was just, I felt it was a bit overextended, and it was like if there was a signal, I just couldn't quite get a good signal, but an amazing move. I mean, RK-Sys stayed with it. An amazing move down. This was toward the end of the day. I didn't even look at this, but toward the end of the day, end of the session, a quick long. So, it kept you in the short all this time, and then just a quick long. But, so nothing for me on the Russell, but just a spectacular move. And RK-Sys caught it right as the move began. There was a move down and a pullback, and it just caught it. I mean, absolutely perfect. Perfect. If I tried to adjust settings, I could not make it so perfect. But again, I didn't adjust anything. This was just out of the box. That's how the system operates. Phenomenal. Anyway, let's get to something else. I want to keep kind of maybe the NASDAQ for last. What do we have here? The YM. The YM. So the YM, I actually messed up on the brick size. Let me tell you the way I work the brick size. The evening before I'm ready to trade, I kind of look back a couple of days and decide what kind of volatility we had, so I can try and predict the next day's volatility, and that's what I base the brick size on. And today just did not work out much with the YM, but I actually did catch the short over here. So the YM, nice short, definitely enough for a scalp. Beautiful short, followed by a beautiful long. But also really not much movement in the YM, but even though not much movement with a smaller brick size, there might have been more opportunities for small scalps, but obviously there was no way to completely predict what's going to happen. So yesterday, when I was preparing for today, this is the brick size that I decided on, and it was just too big for the kind of volatility that the YM had for today. But again, everything I do is in real time. I'm not showing you guys market replay or after the fact we're figuring stuff out. Again, there was no change in the settings here, and the brick size was determined the day before. And still, two nice opportunities for scalps. So RK-Sys in this, I mean, when you take a look at this, we were talking about chop before. This is not great. This is not great action. But RK-Sys still found two opportunities. Both of them, as far as I'm concerned, are winners for at least some kind of scalp. But again, right? You can only take what the market is willing to give. And here there was just not much to give. And under the circumstances, I think RK-Sys Platinum here did absolutely great. So this was actually one of my trades. Let's take a look at gold, right? Yep, gold. Take a look at gold. So, okay, another thing, good. So it's a good example. So, I told you I take only the first trade signal, I should say, in a given direction, right? Now, what I do not do, and it's also in the video that was posted earlier today, I do not take longs below the line, and I do not take shorts above the line. I found over time, again, just observing the system for months now, that these types of trades have a lower probability of success. I like long trades nicely above, or at least for the bar to close above the line, like to close somewhere here. If a bar closes below the line and there is a long signal, I ignore it. To me, it's just a lower probability trade. This is a perfect example. I would definitely avoid this. Then a short that works out. And again, here is another example why only the first signal in a given direction. This is gold. So this is a nice scalp. There was nothing wrong with this. This would have been a losing trade here, for sure. The arrow appears on bar close. So this arrow appeared here, and this arrow appeared here. So this is for sure would have been a losing trade. I only take the first signal in a given direction. Here is a long, would have worked out fine. A short, but this short, you see, this short is above the line. I would not have taken this. It turned out to be okay, but I would not have taken this. Probably the same here. Again, would have worked out fine. It just according to my rules, I try not to take these kind of trades. Then it's the end of the day right now. Still, here is a long. So this long is nicely above the line, and I mean a beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. And you see how once the move gets overextended here, there are no signals. If anything, it would be looking for a signal the other way. And this one is fine because this one, the bar closes below the line. Don't look at the arrow. It's not about the arrow being above the line. It's about where does the bar close? The bar closes below the line. In the case of a short, for me, it's fine. I'm taking this 10 out of 10 times. And I would probably be right. I mean, profitable 7 out of 10 times. Nice move down. Here is a long below the line. I would not have taken that. See that? Not. This is a good short, right? And again, I mean, both of them would have worked out for sure, but I only take the first one. Here is a long. According to my rules, this is a perfect long. Another nice scalp. So I mean, again, the potential for profits is huge. The $315 is really it's only because most of the day I was not available to trade. I mean, if most of you, I'm sure, are not running a room, so there was no issue. If you can focus on it all day, I mean, this is a joke. So that's gold. I mean, great, And again, same here as the other ones. No change in the settings. I simply loaded up the system, the indicator. That's it. Okay, why didn't we see it? Crude oil, crude oil, crude oil. So 9 a.m., crude oil opens. Again, opportunities before then, but this is 9 a.m. This is a qualified long trade, which would have been a losing trade, no question. This is just to show it's not all winning trades. By the way, I mean, I'm sure you know this, but these signals do not repaint. Do not repaint. What is repainting? Some indicators by some shady companies. They, when you refresh the chart, for example, all of a sudden a losing signal would disappear. That's repainting. There would not be a signal here anymore. That's not how NINZA does business, and that's not how this system is. This is a losing trade, no question. Again, take a look at this amazing short then. I mean, right out of the gate, according to my rules, beautiful. First signal, bar closes below the line, and there we go. I mean, a beast. A beast. And again, by the time I was free, I couldn't join the party. Just nothing. So could not do anything with oil. Obviously, if you are more aware, you probably take a loss over here. It's a legitimate loss. And then a terrific trade. I mean, big, huge trade here. Okay. NASDAQ. We can't forget about the NASDAQ, right? Can't forget about the NASDAQ. Where's my NASDAQ? NASDAQ. Okay. Okay, so the NASDAQ actually starts, and again, I was not able to trade this because I was busy with my room, but if I was, let's say, trading this, let's say, I would not have taken this below the line. I would not have taken this below the line, unfortunately, because big trade. And you see, and that's what's interesting. Remember, I was talking about the system kind of recognizes that a move might be overextended, right? So in this case, it's unfortunate because this would have been a great signal, but this move is recognized as being a bit overextended. And so there was no signal. Finally here, whatever the algorithm is, it decides, you know what, it's fine, I guess because price held, and then it has another arrow. Now again, would I have taken this if I was trading it? I would say probably not, just to be completely honest. It's not the first signal. The first signal was not fully qualified according to my rules. But again, this is not what I'm talking about now, is not NINZA official approach to trading this system. This is just me. This is just me. So, you definitely don't have to follow my rules. So, but I mean, terrific. Objectively speaking, never mind my rules, the signals are awesome. I mean, absolutely mind-blowing. That's what I'm saying. $300 is absolutely nothing here. Beautiful short. Below the line, first signal, and just nice trade down. This is with my rules, and this would have been a losing trade. It would have been. Followed by a terrific winner. And you see how subsequent trades definitely are successful as well. But nothing is quite as good as the first, right? I mean, this is an amazing signal, guys. This is but the huge moves. So the losses are fairly small. Able to catch and stay in big moves. And again, you can actually make it better, believe it or not, if you take the time and you adjust some settings. I did not adjust anything. Again, the reason I did not is because I wanted to avoid the whole discussion of, oh, it's only successful because you're playing with the settings and whatnot. I wanted to take that part out of the picture, out of the equation. Hold on. Where's the chart? Why is it not showing my chart? Guys, hold on, something's wrong. Why isn't it showing my chart? So you guys give me 1 second here. Okay. Now you can see my chart. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there. Why wasn't it showing my chart? All right, it's weird. Anyway, let me quickly start again. A quick summary. So I was talking about that this long is below the line. Didn't qualify for me, but it would have been a great winning trade. This is the first one that does qualify for me, and this one would have been good. Then we have a short below the line, first signal, down we go. This is a losing long here. This is a losing trade, followed by a terrific short here, going down. Could you tell me, did you see any of the charts? Now I'm concerned. Did you see any of the charts I showed? Hold on. Why am I having issues here? So I'm getting yes and no. So did you see any of the charts? Because I'll go back. I just don't want to bore you guys. Let me see. Did not. RTY only. Okay, so you saw the Russell. I just showed the NASDAQ. You did not see the YM and you did not see gold, I guess. Then that makes sense. Okay. Hold on. Let me quickly show gold then. I don't know why it stopped sharing the screen. So this was gold. Let me go to the beginning. This is gold. That's what I was talking about when I said in my rules, I do not take long trades below the line. I just don't do that. And here, this is no long here. This is a short that's good enough for a scalp. I only take the first trade, the first signal in a given direction. So this would not have been a trade for me, followed by a long above the line, first signal, beautiful. These two shorts are still kind of right at the line. I probably would have avoided these. And then the long, I mean, terrific long here, above the line. This short is fine. I would have taken some heat, maybe would have stopped you out. But in reality, it's still a valid trade down. This is a long I would avoid because it's below the line here. This is a short, would have taken this one. Again, I prefer only the first signal, would have avoided this one, and then a long. So this was gold. Again, just plenty of opportunities. I don't know if you saw the total. This is the total that anyone here could have outperformed today if you traded these markets. Again, I just was busy doing other things. By the time I got to trading RK system, the volatility completely dried out. There was nothing left. So you did not. So you saw the RTY, and you saw the Nasdaq, and you saw gold. The YM, I guess you did not see. Let me show you the YM. The YM is the one I was talking about that I got the brick size wrong. It was just too big for today's volatility, but no, it's difficult to predict. Well, not difficult. It's just that it will not always work out, right? Because I look at the day before to try and kind of forecast the volatility for the next day. So I picked this brick size and it only had two signals, both of them winning signals. Here was a short for a scalp, here was a long for a scalp. It's just that with a smaller brick size, I could have gotten better signals and maybe more of them for probably smaller targets though. But yeah, this was the YM. I just not much movement. And but again, because I touched on it before, how this system can filter once it recognizes a trend is getting too, quote, old, overextended, because there are no long signals here. You see this? There are no, because he just recognized that this was too much. This was too much. So he said, you know what? No signals. No signals. He waited for a short. That is quite remarkable, actually. This is one of the biggest improvements that that NINZA made for this system. However they did it, and I won't begin to guess how, it just can recognize when it just overextended, and it's going to start staying away and not give signals. So quite phenomenal, really. So now let's see, you showed this, I'm not sure if you saw oil then. Where's my crude? My crude. This was crude. Okay. So crude, that's what I showed. So this is a valid long signal above the line for signal, but this is a losing trade for sure. This is a losing signal. But take a look at the short. I mean, come on, this boom. So, you're going to take a small loss, but compared to the winners that are possible here, again, anyone in this room now could have done better than this. By the way, this was done just with one E-mini, and I think I traded gold and the YM. I don't think I could catch anything else, or maybe the Nasdaq 2-1. I think also the Nasdaq. It's just that by the time I was done, there was just nothing left. Crude was a good example of that. By the time I was free, there was nothing to do here. I couldn't get into anything. But if someone is paying attention, right, from as soon as the market opens, well, then this someone would take a loss here, but then this one was just a beast, absolute beast of a trade. So, okay, so these are my live charts. I apologize before. I don't know what happened. Just stopped sharing the screen. Let's get to the deals. I got some good ones today. So, all right. So, the usual price on our website is $24.96. They're given 15 licenses at $13.96. They will also include an EOB ordering, which is a great tool. I mean, you can get rid of your chart trader when you have this tool. Phenomenal tool. You can enter trades on bar if a bar closes to the upside, or you can short a trade if a bar closes to the downside, or in any order you want, any combination of that. You can put in different ATM strategies. It's a terrific tool. $600 value almost, and they're giving it away. And yeah, so you can now, this I'm not sure. You're going to get an easy trend for free. Is it with purchase or not? This I can't answer. But if you contact NINZA support, they will tell you. Try to use this code. See if you can just. By the way, Easy Trend is a very cool indicator. It's a very unique way to filter. Like if you're going to use an Easy Trend, it's basically like a moving average kind of a trend filtering, but it's unique. You should try it out. It's really quite good actually. There was something else though, which now I can't find. No, wait, there was something else. Yeah, so this is the same thing. There was another one. Why can't I find the other one? That's the one. So besides that, I'm going to go back to that slide. But if you use this code, JABU55, and these are my initials, how cool is that? So JABU 55, this will take off 55% off any ninZa or Renko Kings indicator. If I'm reading this right. Yeah, all products. So that looks right. If you were considering something, what could you get for this? I can tell you some three that are solid. Cumulative delta is one. The trend line automation, very nice indicator. Trend line automation, that's another one. And I also really lately have been liking the what is the exact name of it? It's the volume wave, the W wave volume, something like that. Another very cool indicator when used correctly. Really helps with just identifying where the market wants to go. Very cool. So these three, if you don't have them, if you were thinking what you could use this for, those three things: cumulative delta, trend line automation, and volume wave um, indicator. Okay. Anything else here? No, I think that's it. I'll tell you what, give me 1 minute. I'm going to get a drink. You can type your questions now. If you typed them before, maybe retype because it scrolled all the way up. So if you have a question, type it, and I'm going to get to it in 1 minute. Just going to get a quick drink. All right, so let's see. First of all, let me put you back on. Uh, no, here. So this is for the RK system. Okay, so let's see the signals. Yeah, the signals are painted. The signals are painted on bar close. So if we can just make this bigger, just so I can explain this part. This arrow was painted when this bar closed. So the entry is actually here. Okay. Just to be clear, it's not here. I wish it's not here because it needs to confirm, right? It needs to confirm that indeed there was a continuation move down. So the arrow is painted once the bar is closed to the downside. Okay, so now there was a question regarding automation. So, right. Uh, Without getting into names, because I don't know if NINZA has a business relationship with that software company, but you can automate these signals using a third-party automation software. So if you have questions regarding specifically that, again, you can email me. I will answer you. I'm just not sure if I can say the name of that company here. But the point is, yes, you could automate these signals. To be clear, the system itself does not come with automation. However, you could automate these signals with the software that can read this arrow and will get you in a trade as soon as the arrow is painted right over here. Okay. Do I trade? Yeah, I do trade the S&P, um, but and it might be okay with indicators. It's just that and we can even maybe try. Hold on one second. I trade well, S&P is one of the instruments that I trade in my room. It's just that I trade it without anything. S&P is a bit of a different animal, at least for me. It's let me see something here. Let me see. Now, I didn't, I don't even know about brick sizes here, but let me just. So this is the S&P from today, So you can just take a look. I just guessed at the brick size here. I'm not sure if it's the most perfect one, probably not terrific, but again, I mean, here is a short, that's fine. This long had the hell of a of a pullback, but technically, again, I just think it's the wrong brick size for the S&P. I think the S&P needs a really small brick size, maybe like 4.2, 5.2. It's S&P is tricky. I know a lot of people love to trade the S&P, and for whatever reason, they recommend for new traders to trade the S&P, and I don't know why. I think the S&P is one of the most challenging markets that there are. Um, but yeah, I think what you can adjust the brick size, and definitely if you can play with the settings, I think S&P is definitely tradable here. You just need to really kind of sit down and take the time and see the best approach to trade it. Let's see, Zone GPT. Yeah, Zone GPT is very different. Zone GPT identifies basically areas, and based on that, it would give a signal. Zone GPT can have a counter trend signal. You're not going to find a counter trend signal with RK system. It identifies a trend, waits for a pullback, confirms. Okay, so it's first a trend, pullback, confirm, and then you get a signal. So these two are quite different. Zone GPT is great, don't get me wrong. I mean, Zone GPT is a fine system. It's just very different than what RK system is. RK system is strictly a trend following system that requires a pullback and can filter based on if it identifies the trend being too, quote, young or too old. So again, just very quite different systems. All right. So the King Renko bars do not come with the system, I don't believe. However, you can definitely use the 55% off to get it. I don't know exactly how. I imagine after the 55% off, maybe it's around 200 or maybe even less. I'm not sure. I'm too afraid to say. But I'll tell you, it's worth it. It's a terrific bar, not only for RK system. It's a terrific custom Renko bar. I I begin to use it exclusively for indicators. It's a terrific bar. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Gaps. How does it handle gaps? Well, see, the thing is, um, I would not trade it, I guess, if there was a huge gap, but very quickly it will pretty much do away with whatever gap there is. Because it would just begin to look for trends. So you just wait for it to find trends. right? And then it's fine. So I don't think gaps is an issue. You just might need to be patient if there is a gap, I imagine. I never encountered it actually, so it's hard for me to say. Because gap openings, I guess, could happen like Sunday night or when Globex opens in the evenings. But by the time the morning is here, I'm talking about US Eastern time, there was really no issue with gaps. As far as, okay, so targets and stops. So that's definitely very much so up to an individual trader. You can definitely use whatever ATM you like right from chart trader, or if you use EOB ordering, you can use EOB ordering to input your ATMs. Obviously, you do need stops, but that is very individual. I don't know if anyone can necessarily recommend. As far as something like a rough idea, I can tell you, for example, with this short, yeah, I can put my stop right above the signal bar here, because then probably the moving average here would turn blue anyway. So you would need to get out of the short. But when it comes to targets and stops, it's such an individual preference thing, like on this long that did not work out here. Yeah, you can simply put your stop below and you would be taken out somewhere here. And then uh, the whole shading here, it turns red anyway. This is bearish now. So yeah, I mean, you can put your stop in the case of a long, like somewhat below. I wouldn't put it right at the bottom, somewhat below the signal bar or somewhat above the signal bar. Um, like, is this too much? I know because the system paints these are pivots. Um, this might be too much of a stop. I don't think there is a reason to give it that much. You can bring it up somewhat and then be fine. So yeah, I mean, I don't see and targets again, you can target these lines, right? Or you can just have a hard target, whatever is in your ATM, 20 ticks or whatever, 10 ticks, 30 ticks, whatever you decide. All right, let's see. All right, so I'm trying to see if I understand that question. So so the way the King Renko is, it requires a certain amount of ticks, which is defined by you for a reversal, and then a certain amount of ticks for a continuation move. So if we go to data series, so it's right here, right? So this is what I have for the YM, right? So the YM, RTY, what is that? Okay, so yeah, so this is defined by me, right? So I would need 7 ticks the other way to reverse the bar. And I would need these 2 ticks to continue the bar down, to continue the move down. So that's how this bar works. And the beautiful thing about this bar is that you can use it for back testing, because this is not what's called an irregular bar. What is an irregular bar? A regular NINZA, for example, is an irregular bar because the opening of the bar is not where it seems. It's an irregular bar. But this bar, the price is where you see the bar. That's the beauty about this bar. That's one of the reasons why I love it so much. It actually is where price was. So that's that. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I don't see anything else. So again, let's go. You got 55% off anything with JABU 55. We have 15 copies of RK System Platinum for $13.96, along with these amazing gifts, which is quite impressive, actually. And yeah, if there was a question I did not answer, if I can find myself here, you can just email me with anything trading related, and I will try to answer it. I don't know what happened before with the screen sharing. I apologize for that. All of a sudden I looked and the chart wasn't sharing, but I did go over all the charts that I planned to here, so that was good. Okay, let me just double check again. Okay, I don't see anything else. Okay, well, thank you all. Thank you for spending this hour with me on a Friday afternoon. And I hope to see you next time.